Good evening, everyone. Uh, come on in to live. As I go over to YouTube to invite others in, let me ask that you come on in and do the same. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody that we are on Stocks Talk Live with Tim on this Sunday night. Um, um, okay. Hope you are coming in. Hope you are inviting others. Good evening, CJ. What's up, bruh? What up, what up, what up? Our weather is crazy today, to say the least. CJ, what's up, man? You are doing good? Doing well? Somebody just coming from a 404 number. Whose number is that? All right. People calling me every time wants to get Eric, what's up? Get when I haven't been getting calls or messages or texts or none of that stuff until just about 10 or 15 minutes ago it all started. And then now that I jumped on, it wants to people want to text me and all kinds of other stuff all over the place. I'm waiting for others to come on from all across the different social sites so we can have a conversation about Monday's market, Monday's pre-market, that is, and then of course um, we want to we said on Friday night that we want to talk strategy. We want to strategize for Monday and Tuesday's market. We want to strategize for Monday and Tuesday's market to make sure that an outstanding profit this week in on call option as well as buying different stocks. So some others had just told me. I told them that I would get on at 7:30. So excuse me. I'm expecting them to be here. So I'm waiting for some of those others to come on. Certainly, we will continue to move on without them here in just a few, and they can watch the recording if they are busy. Eric, Eric, not Eric. Kind of update me on which Eric are you, because there's not a picture there, so I don't know. Again, good evening, and thanks for being on Stock Talk Live with Tim, um, Eric. But which Eric are you, Eric? Where are you from? Where you from, Eric? If you can help me out with that, so I can kind of. I don't know if you're still there. Maybe he's not still. He's not there anymore. All right, CJ. What did you come up with what have you been studying today? Y'all, I washed one of my cars today, one that was well filthy dirty, and then now it's raining. Eric from Fort Stewart. Eric. Oh, that's CJ's friend. Am I right, CJ? All right. Yeah. Okay. Got you. Got you. Got you. Well, again, thank you so very, very much for being on, y'all. I'm sounding like a preacher, aren't I? Thank you so much. Thank you for being on with us tonight. And I want to know, Eric, if what have you been strategizing, or what are your forecasts for the upcoming week, particularly the first 2 days of the week, which is Monday? What are your plans? I'm going to tell y'all mine, or some of them. I'm still working. I'm still working, and then of course I'm going to um, tell you my plans for Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday. Now we know the market. We know the market. We know the market can change on a penny. I wouldn't even say on a dime. On a penny, a market can change from one direction to another direction momentarily. And so there is no one. If it was someone that can project the market 100%, 100 of the times, they would be trillionaires. You just can't. Some days, you know, you're going to gain some money and end up in the positive. Some days you're going to lose some money and end up in the negative. Hopefully, it would be more of one than the other, more gains than losses. Am I right? Am I making sense? More gains than losses. Number two, when the losses, the gains will be great gains and the losses will be small losses. But even that's not the case all the time. That's not the case all the time. Um, I've been reading a lot of stuff that's projected, these different projections. Some of them from the company themselves, about what's happening over the next, well, this month. Let me put it like that. Over the next month, we're in August now, so in the month of August, some projections, um, some stuff that will probably cause major sell-offs. Hopefully not because I own some of those stocks. Hopefully not because when that happens, of course, the price of the stock goes down. We want them to buy and not sell. We want to buy, and not sell. Instead, we want to sell when we get where we want to be or get where we need to be, and not sell because the people are quick to, let me, in lack of a better term, quick to jump ship. If I'm making sense, quick to jump ship. We don't want them to do that. So one of the things I said that I was going to do for Monday in preparation for Tuesday. I will do this on Monday in preparation for Tuesday. Of course, tonight for pre-market tomorrow morning, and then right at market opening after somewhere around 10 o'clock. After 10 o'clock a.m., 1000 hours for military. I want to see where some particular stocks are headed. Of course, I'm going to look at the market. I have a free day tomorrow. I'm not even going to plan to go anywhere or do anything tomorrow. No plans, but to work out tomorrow morning, come back and on the market until 4 o'clock, until 1600 hours, so 4 o'clock. Because what I want to do, we know that for the most part, not 100%, 100% of the time, but for the most part, the market is not good on Tuesdays. And that means that when it's red on Tuesdays, then puts will be expensive on Tuesdays. They're going to be rather expensive. So if the market goes that way on Tuesday, I'm not saying that I wish it would be red, but that's just generally how it is on Tuesdays. Hopefully I'm wrong, and it's all green across the board. That's only going to help me, except for I'll just sell those puts. Puts are cheaper the day before, are less expensive the day before Tuesday, which is Monday. So we want to get into puts. Now, if the market is green tomorrow, you don't want to get into puts so early because you're losing money early on. You want to get into puts as closest to the closing of the market as possible, so that if you are losing, you won't lose that much. The bad thing about that is that when doing it like that, if you are gaining, you're not going to gain that much getting in that late with calls or puts. So again, my plan on tomorrow is to look at the market for Tuesday's projection for about 5 stocks in particular. And I think I posted some of them on last night, 5 stocks in particular. People have been asking, and I posted it last night real late because I couldn't sleep, about stocks that are inexpensive to get into, that will pay big dividends. They pay a lot on dividends. And I know I'm not one of those individuals. I'm sad to say, but I know some people who bank on dividends. They actually look for stocks that are inexpensive, but the dividends are high. So not to say that they're making hundreds and thousands of dollars just on dividends. When the stocks are paying off well or staying positive in the green, then that means that when it's time for the dividends, the projection would have probably been correct. And the dividends being that it's going to be so high, because some of them pay some high dividends. And I posted them last night. It was my every intention to have my other laptop my iPad in my hand tonight, but I started without, so I'm gonna have to go on this small thing. It was my intention to do that, and I didn't do that. So what I've done is I have posted to our site. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. Posted to our site some of the, let me go to the group, some of the stocks that pays high dividends, to the point that some people have been in them so long that they have made pretty good on those stocks and dividends, so they can pretty much call it their retirement account. That's how much they've made from it. Now that's I don't know if you all have done, who's watching, I don't know if you have done an analysis. I know CJ, you're pretty young, so you probably haven't gotten that yet, because young people really don't think that far ahead. Now, CJ, you're kind of different, so maybe you have. And what I'm about to say is, I don't know how many people have sat down and think about how much money would you like to have, your residual income you would like to have coming in your home once you retire for good. Now, what I mean by that is that 92%, watch this, CJ, I'm preaching now. Thank you, CJ, I see you posted that. 92% of the people that retires from the military Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, and then National Guard and Reserve. 92% of the individual that retires from the military, only 8% retires from the military the first time and does not have to work anymore for the rest of their lives. If you think about, I know some 4-star generals that retires, and not to say that they have to, but still they go back to work. And so you think of a 4-star, they're going back to be college professors or work for CNN or one of the major news station when something military is going on as a commentator. They're going back to work, but there's only 8% that can do that because how they had prepared for it along the way. I'm a percentile person. I study percentages a lot. And so I've memorized a lot of them. CJ, there's a small percent of military people or airmen, sailors, Marines, soldiers, that retires and can really afford, because when you think of, we can call ourselves retirees because we can do 20 years, but that's not the retirement age according to the federal government. So you've done 20 years. If you went in at 18 and retire at 38, or 19 and retire at 39 like I did, or 20 and retire at 40, you're still pretty young. And because you're still pretty young, you write CJ or CEOs of companies, businesses, those, and then I forgot my train of thought. Those individuals who retires, they've got to go back out there because they didn't prepare for it along the way. Because they're so young, I can't remember this percentage, but there's a percentage that says I'm going to retire at 20 years, but yet they still have young children in school or still paying for students, children in colleges and universities. And if they didn't get full paid tuitions, that or goes to West Point or whatever the case, that can be very expensive. When you have to put children through colleges and universities, or they're still in elementary or still in high school, yes, you're retired, but if you don't want to struggle, you should have been doing something along the way. Now, watch this. It was 1992. It was 1992, and I was working for the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And when he sent me to his investment broker, the first question is, at what age do you want to retire? That's the first question. And now, when you say retire, I mean really retire, where you don't have to work anymore. I'm not talking about I don't want to just quit the military. That's basically all we're doing when we retire at 20 years from the military. I'm done with the military. Some people get out and did like I wanted to do in the beginning and be a state trooper or a policeman, or in other words, they work somewhere else. And most time, I can't remember the percentage, but there's a percentage is because they have to. Why? Because if you still have a mortgage, and your mortgage is close to the amount of your retirement check, almost all of your retirement check is going to your mortgage. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do like, and if CJ, if you don't mind me putting a little bit of your business on, not a lot, I wanted to do like CJ is doing. I wanted to be, when I got out to military, I wanted to be where I was going to retire at and already have a house and stay there, rather than having to move and then having to start the process all over again. Don't have a job and then have to provide all these income and wouldn't get approved for the type of house that I wanted. So CJ, that's a great thing to do to be where you want to retire at. I wanted to leave McPherson at McPherson, Atlanta, Georgia. I was working there for a few years, and I wanted to come to South Carolina to be in the military still, buy a home, and then when I get out, stay here. That's set for me. That would have been, but it didn't. It obviously it didn't happen like that. It did not happen like that. So CJ, you're doing a great thing. You trust me. You just have no idea how I respect you so much for all that you're doing and how you're doing it, because you're doing it the right way, the right way. So you and the wifey must have put a thought process into it, which is a great thing, and I respect and honor you for that. Because oftentimes people don't realize the strain. Now, it wasn't too much of a strain for me because when I retired at McPherson and came here, the military was begging me when I got here to come back to work as a civilian. McPherson wanted me to stay there and retire and stay there as a civilian. My wife's job was a civilian job, but she was federal services. So her job allowed her somewhat, for those of you who are in the military know what I'm talking about, her job allowed her to PCS. So it just transferred her job from Georgia to South Carolina. She didn't have to come in, look for a job, none of that. It just transferred over. So it was a good thing. So that was the first question I said to you. The guy asked me, at what age do you want to retire? And then you got to define the word retire. Retire for good and don't have to work anymore. Now, if you say 40, now for some, that 8%, that's possible. That 8%, that's possible. Now, one thing I don't like and have never liked, and y'all should know what I mean when I say working from paycheck to paycheck. I always want to have a whole lot of money left over after all my bills are paid. That's how I've always been, and certainly that is the case now. So if you want to you mean you want to retire at 40, 39, 38, or you just want to quit the military, retire from the military, and then go back to work? And so what's your true retirement age? And so I actually said back then, I actually said 55. Because my goal was to retire from the military and to come back to South Carolina to be a South Carolina state trooper and then retire. You can't retire on a state trooper salary, trust me, unless you're the commander. You can't, or the deputy PMO here in the state of South Carolina. You can't retire on that salary. So even that wouldn't have been, unless you prepared. So the second question was, well, no, the third. First question, how old do you want to be when you retire? At what retirement age you want to truly retire? Not this thing, I want to stop this job and go on another job. No. All right. And so the third question was, how much money would you like to have when you retire? Either in the stocks, in Roth IRA, and I don't know if I've explained to you all. I don't want to insult your intelligence, so you probably know what is a Roth IRA. It's named after Senator Roth because he came up with that some years ago. It's a good thing to have. Other investments, annuities. When you put all of that stuff together, like I have all of that stuff, and CDs, Roth, and TSP, you put all of that stuff together, and all of the income from retirement to retirement and a disability, with all of that stuff, I don't have to work for anybody for the rest of my life. Why do y'all think I'm doing this? And I ain't charging nobody because I don't need anybody's money to do none of this stuff because I don't have to work for anybody. Because when when your income per month that comes in is more than your bills, your expenses that you're paying out, you're living good. And that's some good living right there. But oftentimes when you do the math, it's almost 50-50. percentage of the people that will do the math and the money that you have coming in, you're actually spending more out. And then you have to sit down and say, well, Don, how do I do that? I mean, if you only get, I'm gonna throw some weird crazy, if you only make $5,000 a month, with your bills per month is almost $7,000. How is that possible? Now, who wants to do that for life? Who wants to do that for life? No. So, how old do you want to be? I mean, excuse me. Yes, how old do you want to be when you retire? The true retirement age. What age do you want to be? And how much money do you want to have? Now, back then, I said 55 years old. And I thought $1 million would have been enough. In 1992, $1 million was a lot of money. For anybody who retired in 92 and had $1 million, you had a lot of money. In 2021, if you retire and all your bills are paid, you're not putting any kids through college, and you're not putting these kids to school, and you have $1 million, now you're living good. You're living really good. If you've strategized, and that's how it is. And the other option is, hey, I guess you play the lottery and hopefully you hit. And that's the other way of retiring. Other than that, you've got to strategize and prepare for the definition of true retirement. Because even though you've working now, if you're 62 and you can get your Social Security, even for some people, even that's not enough because of their work history. That's not enough. Because remember, when you apply for Social Security at 62, they're going to go off for the last 10 years of where you worked. Well, they can't include the military days because you probably would have been out of the military more than 10 years. If you applied at 62, you'd been out more than 10 years. So the 10 years of your last work history, and it probably is not a lot. And so now you have a military retirement, and then you have, if now you're 62, and let's say you're getting $2,500 a month. But the thing is, the objective, I wish I had my rag, my face is sweating. The objective is to do all of that and your bills are paid. Your bills are paid. If you have 4 cars like I do and all of them are paid for and they're running pretty good and they're all paid for, if you live in a house and you don't have a mortgage and you have $1 million or even close to $1 million, $700,000 in the bank, and the money that you get in per month is more than what goes out. Some stuff we're going to die paying. You're going to die paying an electric bill. You're going to die paying probably a cell phone bill. You're going to die paying your water bill for those who live in that type of area, unless you have a well and a pump. You're going to die paying that stuff. You never stop paying that stuff, but you don't have to die paying for a car. You don't have to die paying for a house. And do you know that you can purchase insurance that will pay, your house will be paid off if you die? Now that's an insurance and it's very expensive. So most people don't get that. So if you die, that house, now you left your spouse, they have to, if they can't live off of what you left them, now they've got to either sell that house, downsize, or they're going to have the house repossessed. You've got to think about all of that stuff. When you get out of the military, you're not covered for $500,000 worth of insurance anymore. And you can keep that $400,000 plus the other 100,000, the extra 100,000. You can keep that. Is called VGLI, and it's very expensive. No, but I didn't even buy that. VGLI is very expensive. If you want to keep your and transfer your SGLI, which they've changed to SOES now, something like that, right? If you want to change that over to VGLI, That is so expensive. You may as well go out and did like I did before I got out of the military. I got insurance, life insurance, and did not purchase VGLI. And then that insurance is now I've had it so long, it's pretty much cheap. It's pretty much cheap, and I got a whole lot of it. Um, and so my wife and I, we strategize like that because God forbid something happens to me. I don't want her to struggle or have to do anything. You do it if you want to. You don't have to sell a house, get rid of it. You do it if you want to, but not have to. And same thing if something happens to her, I don't want to struggle and have to do anything. Do it because I want to. So those are strategies of retirement. And so this conversation came up because some people intentionally, I'll go back to why it started, because some people intentionally go out and say, I'm gonna invest in stocks that pays a lot in dividends. And so they actually make a lot of money on dividend paid stocks. And between the stocks and the dividends that they're paying, they can call that a reliable retiree dividend stocks. CJ posted it in the conversation, and then some of them are like Apple, and some others that he posted there. And there's some. If you look at some of them, now Apple pays pretty good dividends, but Apple is not a cheap stock. It's not an inexpensive stock. So I don't want to go to that one. Let me. I can't remember what was BBY. Best Buy is $112.35 per share. They went down on Friday, and they paid 2.23% dividends. Now, and remember, that's for each stock that you own. That's for each stock that you own. They pay 2.23%. So people who have a lot of Best Buy and they've had it since it was $12 or $13, and they have 100 or 200 shares, plus when the dividends is paying, they're getting that dividend per share. They're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. There's another one I'm trying to find it, which was ALL, right? Allstate is $130, so that's not the one. Dividends is 2.08. If they were in when it was inexpensive, they're doing pretty good because those. And I'm trying to find what was TD. I was trying to find that one that was 7 something, and it wasn't expensive. It's not too late to get into. While TD Bank is $66.45 a share. TD Bank is $66.45 a share. They pay 3.64% in dividends. 3.64% in dividends. I looked a lot of these up, about 20 or 30 of these up last night, and there's a lot of them. ORI, I think we bought some of those a couple of weeks ago, which is is it ORI? Yeah, Old Republic, which is $24.66 a share. Now, they didn't gain any money Friday, nor did they lose anything. Over the past month, they've lost 54 cents. Over the past 3 months, 25 cents. Over the past year, they've gained $8.55. Over the past week, 20 cents last week, 20 cents. So, but they paid 3.49% dividend. So imagine having a lot of that one when it was, let's say, $13, because less than a year ago, it was only $13. So if you would have bought 10 shares of that, that would have been $130. And then you would have 10 shares that you're getting dividend of 3.49% on each of those shares. All of that helps your portfolio. All of that helps your retirement account. So let's not forget that some people I know, they actually stay away from dividend paying stocks. I don't know why, but they have their reason. Washington Trust. The next one is Washington Trust, which is WASH. Right now is $48.75 per share. They gained 31 cents on Friday. Over the past week, they've gained 68 cents last week, rather. Over the past month, they lost $33.32, and over the past 3 months, lost $2.87. And over the past year, they've gained $15. That's pretty good for stocks that currently at $48.75. But look at how much dividends they pay. Look at how much dividends it pays. CJ, I say what you're saying, bro. I'm gonna come live next. I'm gonna come live across the street from you. I want them to build a house. Build me a house across the street from yours, CJ, because it seems you got a good head on your shoulder. You got if you've done all these stuff that I'm talking about and started years ago, you got a good head on your shoulder, and because CJ, I can't remember. I can't remember exactly how old you are, but I wasn't thinking too smart at your age. I wasn't thinking too smart at your age. And then I won't say how I was thinking when in my younger days. I won't say it on a line like this, or at 40. But for a 40-year-old that was thinking like this some years ago, I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up for financial success where you will not have to depend on getting and you or wifey will not have to depend on I have to get up, I have to go punch in, and I have to be on a 9 to 5 until I'm 62. And then of course, let me finish the story about my goal was 55, to retire for good at 55, and I missed it by 1 year because I retired for good at 56. Yes, 56. And then I wanted $1 million. And back then, $1 million would have been a lot of money. And he even said that. But then at when I wanted to retire at 55, $1 million is really not a lot of money unless you don't have the bills. If you don't have a $2,000 to $2,500 a month mortgage, and then a car payment here of $400, and another car payment here $400, and a truck payment of $300, whatever the case may be, and children are gone and all this stuff. If you don't have all that stuff, and everything's paid for, and you get $1 million, or if now I dipped into mine. That's why I missed. Let me say I made it to have $1 million at 55, right? But I dipped into it and paid for stuff so that I didn't have to depend on anyone or anything or anybody, and did what I wanted to do because I wanted to do it. It did not have to. There's a difference. There's a difference. So when over the past, when I worked and retired there in September of last year, I used to joke with my students a lot, and I would tell them I have a secret, and I don't want y'all to tell anybody. And they would laugh, and every time I get a new class, I would introduce myself, and I would tell them the same thing. I would tell them a secret. Here's a secret. Don't y'all tell anybody. This is the secret. They're paying me to do this. They were paying me to doing what I love doing. CJ, I don't know if you like fishing. What if somebody pays you to go fishing? Like I was doing my hobby, what I love, teaching AIT students what I did for 20 something years. It was like a hobby for me. And so they were paying me to do what I love doing. I actually enjoyed getting up doing that. I enjoyed it. And the secret was, don't tell anybody, but they were paying me to do it. The students was laughing, but I was serious. Y'all gonna pay me all of this money to do it, and I love doing it. And I actually got up excited every day, just driving down the road to go to those students to do it for 17 years or so, right? Really loved it. Really loved it. And so that's like anybody paying you to do your hobby. What's your hobby? What's your love for something you like doing? Photography, and you get paid a whole lot of money to do it because you want to do it and not you have to live off of, but you're doing it because you want to and getting paid for it. Now that's living right there. Now that's living. Fishing, playing golf, and they're paying you to do it. Huh? I didn't want to be one of the individuals, and I'm not talking about anybody because I'm being facetious a little bit today now. So I didn't want to be one of the individuals that's 62 years old and saying "Welcome to Walmart." I didn't want to be that individual. Now, if I want to, because I like going to Walmart, maybe I want to, and y'all gonna pay me to welcome people to Walmart. I think they don't even have those anymore. But the fact of the matter is, I'm saying, I'm trying to say I did not want to work because I have to. So you got to strategize, like CJ said he has been, and don't stop. Because what? Guess what? Well, I've already told you, CJ, and I know you got two boys that you love. You're madly in love with your boys and your wife and everything. But again, well, y'all know I told y'all the word, right? You're working for your children's children. In other words, you want to leave your children's children something behind. You want to leave them something behind, not just the two boys, but their children. Granddaddy left this stuff for us. Grandmama left this stuff for us. That's what the Bushes did, the Kennedys, the Trump. That's what he's doing. He's setting stuff up for his children's children, so he doesn't have to. For they won't have to do anything. Trump's children don't have to work for nobody. Meghan McCain, Senator McCain's daughter, that works on one of those news, The View, or one of them was with Whoopi Goldberg. She's doing that because she wants to. Laura Bush, Bush have twins, Bush Jr. They have twins. One of the twins also works on one of those. She's doing that because she wants to. Them kids, they got money. They don't have to do that. But then when you instill in your children, CJ, when you instill in your boys that work because that's the ethics that dad and mom put on us. That's the ethics, a work ethics that even though they left me some stuff, now I want to add to it. And then if I don't want to work anymore, I don't have to. Leo, what's up? We're just talking some generational generational wealth today. We're talking some generational wealth, and then we're gonna actually, before I get off here in 15 minutes, we're gonna talk about some strategies. And we've been talking about, I want to go to a couple more of these with some dividend stocks, some stocks that pays dividends, and it doesn't cost a lot. Some inexpensive one, but they pay high dividends. And the last one that I looked up was Washington Trust, which is WASH. Leo, if you scroll up some, CJ Photography posted, and it says the top 10 reliable retiree dividend stocks. We've been looking up some of those. I'm at WASH. The next one, it looks like OMC. What is OMC? What is OMC? OMC is Omnicom. Well, it's not cheap. It's $72.82 per share. They lost 41 cents last week, and they don't trade aftermarket. But look at the dividends they paid. And then less than a year ago, they were only $44 and something to change. And I'm sure it was cheaper than that, less expensive than that a year before that. So my point is yes, you can research and find inexpensive stocks that pays high dividends. They pay a lot of dividends. Now, the reason I said inexpensive, because you want to buy a lot of the stocks, because the dividends, when it pays for each one of the stock that you have. So we said just now, Omnicom, $72.82 a share. They pay $3.71 per share in dividends. That money like that can add up, because y'all, if you all only know how much money I've made off of dividends from just Apple. From just Apple. If you look at Apple, I don't think this will tell me. I can look at it on something else. APPL Apple. I have. Let me see. I have y'all do the math. I have 365 shares of Apple. Because remember when they did the split a few months ago when Apple did the three-way or four-way split or something like that? That's why I have so many of it. I have 365 shares of Apple, right? I've made, oh my God, I'm too embarrassed to even say what I've made from Apple. And then even on Friday, I made $551.15 on Apple just on Friday alone, because of the 22 cents that it gained. And then I had some calls with it as well. But when you look at Apple does not pay these days, it pays 0.57% in dividend. But some years ago when I first started out, it was like 2.30. I've made a whole lot of money off of Apple's dividends, just Apple alone. And then I have a whole lot of other stocks that pays some high dividends, some of them high of 7%. I do apologize for the air conditioning that's coming on. All right, let me go to EBF, which is what is um, ENIS, ENNIS, EBF. It's only $19.77 a share. EBF, $19.77 a share. But y'all look at how much they pay in dividends. Look at it. 4.55%. 4.55%. So less than a year ago, it was $15.18 a share, and I'm sure before that it was cheaper than that or inexpensive, less expensive than that, right? 2 years ago. But even 19, let's say $20 a share, 4.55% in dividends. So even though they lost 21 cents Friday on the market, and they don't trade after market, it says the next time they pay out dividends will be the 20th of September before the market. They will have their earnings call pre-market on September the 20th. So let's say you take $100 and buy 5 ENIS, ENNIS. EBF is the ticker, right? If you buy 5 of those, whenever the dividend pays out, it's going to pay for each one of those 5 shares that you have. It's going to pay. And then if you have more than 20, the more dividends, or 40 or 50, more dividends. So that's what people be talking about living off of dividends, because they actually research the stocks that are inexpensive, but they pay a lot of dividends. And so they're getting that quarterly dividends, or 4 times a year dividends. 4 times a year dividends. Now, watch this. Watch this. Remember I told you about the bank will not give you that kind of interest if you have that money in the bank. If you have that money in the bank, if September the 20th, somebody have 20, let's say 20 shares or 15 shares of ENIS, ENIS, and they make $20 in dividends. Even if they make $20 in dividend, well, that's more than the bank would have paid you if you had your money in it for a whole year. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. And y'all already know the story about how I know that, but how I had some money in Bank of America. Well, I still have it there, but and they don't pay dividend. They don't pay an interest rate like that. So why leave it there? Your question may be, why leave it there? I just got money all over the place and not all in one basket. So what I did is I just left it in Bank of America, but I changed it into a CD, a 13-month CD that pays pretty high. I changed it over to a CD that pays pretty high. All right, so that's why it's still there. That one was EBF. That one was EBF, and then the next one was CVX. CVX, which is CVX, right? CVX, not C. CVX was Chevron, not inexpensive. $101.79 a share. $101.79 a share. But let's go down and see how much they pay in dividends. Let I don't know why I did that. Unpin. I wanted to pin this message. All right, let me go to the next one. Um, um, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to read. Uh, all right. So let me go to. I forget what I was going to say. With Chevron, Chevron pays 5.12% in dividends. It's not inexpensive. It's $101 a share. That's why you got to get into it early. Get into it early, and I'm going to tell you now. I'm not going to be these other stock coaches that's going to sit here and tell you you're never going to lose money. You're going to make money every day, and you're going to get rich in 3 months off the market. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that because I can't guarantee you that. I'm not. 5.12? We say, CJ, 5.12. That's and some of them you can research because I did about 20 of them last night. I said I need to go to sleep. I got church tomorrow morning. I was like 3:15. I'm searching stock, and they got some that pay 7.82 and 9 point, and they're inexpensive. So you can get that to put that in your portfolio. Hopefully it grows, but sometimes even if it's not growing fast, you're holding on to it for the dividends because you're making good money on the dividends. The dividends pays pretty good. All right. All right. We were at EPD. I think that was the last one. The last one is EPD. EPD. EPD, y'all. EPD, not F. EPD, which is enterprise products. Look at that. Look at that. Y'all look at enterprise products. I'm going to let y'all tell me how much it costs and then tell me how much does it pay in dividends. Somebody tell me that. EPD. EPD. What is it? Echo Papa Delta. Echo Papa Delta. Tell me how much does it pay in dividends and how much does it cost? It pays 7.93% in dividends. That's for everyone that you own. And it costs $22.59. It will not be. And then watch this. They lost 29 cents. Right. They lost 29 cents during the market Friday, gained 2 cents after market. They have been losing some money as of the past 3 months, but over the past year they have gained $5.07. But look at the dividends. That's why you got to get into it when it's inexpensive like that. Excuse me. You've got to get into it while it's inexpensive like that. While it's $10 and $12 and $14 and $22, and buy bulks of them and collect on that dividends 4 times a year because they pay quarterly. And for that one, it says is it there? I don't see it there. Where is it at now? For that one, and I think I need to go back here on the past week. I wanted to see if I can see when does it say right there. Um, um, I think their dividend is coming up. It's coming up soon, or maybe it was just they had it already because looks like they gave up 50 cents per or something like that. All right, so think they had it. I think they had it already. I think they had it already. But and so the next one it says won't be until it looks like the first quarter of 21. Yes, the first quarter of 21 of 2021, FY21 for quarter one. That will be the next one because it paid the last one, quarter four of FY20. All right, I think that's where we are if I'm reading that right. All right, now, so that was the last one. I think that was the last one, right? Um, so if you looked at what it says after that, some of those boosted net projected gains from 11% to 28.95% for the month of August. That's the projection for August. What did I tell you? August is supposed to supposed to look pretty good, for the market, because now in my eyes, July wasn't all that good, but according to the marketers, they're saying that July was a wonderful month. A lot of us probably won't agree with that. But that's what they're saying. And there's so many other stocks that pays high dividends and they are inexpensive. They pay high dividends and they are inexpensive. Let me get to because I think I got 5 minutes. So let me get to strategies. Again, strategies. Well, we're going to we know that for the most part, the market is usually not good on Tuesdays. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the market is perfect and we make thousands of dollars on just from our stocks on Tuesdays, even for those who are not going to do calls and puts. But my plan is tomorrow by 3:30, between 3:30 and 4 o'clock tomorrow, I will have either bought or will buy at least 5 puts to prepare for Tuesday's market. I will do now. Don't y'all do that because but do one or two. Don't be like me and do 5 because I told y'all how I prepared for it. How did I prepare for it? Because what did I do last week? I added $7,000. Let me make sure I'm telling y'all the right thing. I added $7,000. I added $7,000 to my buying power just to do this strategy Monday. That's what I added to my buying power. And then, of course, last night while I was researching some stuff, I have some stuff to buy tomorrow morning. They're expected to purchase it for tomorrow morning because of the fact that I can tell you what some of them are. They were. I bought some more Clear Secure. I think that's you, CJ. We talked about that, right? Clear Secure is you. I bought some more of them. I bought 17 of them. I bought 17. Yes. All right. A total of 17. Because I bought 2 different times for whatever. And then I bought some more RSKD, which is riskified. RSKD. I bought some more of that. And so that took from that 7,000 and some change that I had for that. And then the last thing that I did, I think that was the last thing. No, the other one is called Silk, SILK, SILK. I bought 5 more shares of Silk, SILK. I bought 5 more shares of Silk. So that took away from that 7,000. So but I'm still doing pretty good to strategize for Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to watch the market tomorrow because I have no plans but to work out tomorrow morning and come home and shower, eat breakfast, and chill out in front and wait for after 10 o'clock and watch the market until it closes tomorrow. And hopefully I make the right puts. Now, I'm not going to say 100% sure that I'm not going to buy any calls because once again, that depends on my research. I might research and something might looks as though something might be a pretty good call. And then I might decide to buy a call. So who knows? But my plan is to buy more puts than calls to prepare for Tuesday. And the puts that I purchase on Monday will probably not be inexpensive puts. They'll be expensive ones. So if you do some, I suggest that you do the inexpensive one, puts on Monday to prepare for Tuesday. Now, don't go over your limit. Y'all know about the limit because one of the things that I can do, and hopefully you have some power that you can do the same thing. If I see that Tuesday's market is reverse, and I should not have bought these put because the market is doing good, it should have been called, then I'm gonna just close out those puts. Of course, if it had been the same within the same 24-hour period, it's going to be a thing against me, right? So if you can't do that, then don't. If you can't do that, then please don't do that. So that's the strategy. That's the strategy for Monday. While I'm watching, I will come on live. I know you all will be working. I know y'all will be busy, but I will record something so you can look at and hopefully you'll get the notification that I've recorded something or I'm recording, so I can tell you what's going on with something, and then you could jump on it. You can jump on it like quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right. All right. So I think that is it. And I kind of rambled, but did it all in time. Did it all on time because I wanted to get out tonight. Exactly what's the plan? What's the strategy? And I wanted to answer the question because you all would not believe the DMs, the direct messages that I receive or text messages that I receive with different questions. And so I don't want, when I get multiple of the same question, rather than keep answering the same person, I'll tell them I'm going to post it on the page. And I would have answered 6 or 7 people, individuals' question with one shot. So Tim, what are some good stocks that are not too expensive and pays pretty good dividends? And then, these are just some of them because I was researching something and I found that. Now, so I didn't make that list up. That's a list that I found, but there's another list of 20 that I found. And because it was 3:30 this morning, I didn't get up to write them down because I know if I had started, then I would not have went to bed this morning. So I didn't want to do that. So there's a list, and I'll probably, when I finish here and have nothing else to do, I got some TV to watch and some chill out time, some downtime, I'll go back to that list of 20, and then I'll probably drop those on there so you can see those lists, and then you can research them yourself. You can research those stocks that pays dividends, and then the thing about it, it's going to show you all of them. It's going to show you all of them, and then and then you can choose, because each of you know your own definition of what is expensive. Because what might be expensive to me might not be expensive to you. Like CJ, now we know that BRKA, if y'all look up the stock BRKA, it's about $400,000 a share. And CJ, my nephew there, my nephew CJ, he has about 3 of them. He has about 3 shares. So what is expensive for me is not expensive for CJ because CJ got the money. He rolling in it. He rolling with it. So it ain't no problem for him. And so I can't roll with CJ, y'all. I can't roll with him. I gotta stay in my league. I gotta stay in my league and stay with the low league. I gotta stay in the low league. CJ's in the major leagues, so I can't roll with people like that. I can't do that. If you read back at some of that stuff CJ just put, how he's been planning for years, and he's just 40. And I know Leo, you're on the line. Leo, you can attest if you're still on with us and say, don't you wish? And I don't know I'm just saying this, Leo, because I don't know. I don't know anything about you, so I'm just saying because I know you're older than 40. I know that much. But Leo, don't you wish that you were thinking future financially when you were less than 40, like CJ is? He's 40, and he's been thinking about his future financially way before he was 40 years old. Boy, I wish I was doing that in a major way. Now, I was, but not in a major way like I am now, and has been over the past 7, 8, 9, or even said 10 years. See, I told you, Leo, if you were 40 and thinking now, how you are thinking now when you were 40, like CJ is thinking now. CJ, and that's another preacher there, CJ. He can Leo can throw some blessings your way, because that's a blessing to be thinking like that, the way he has been thinking and is preparing and what he's doing, because I know some stuff, and so he's just doing great. If I can just get about 5 or 10 more individuals that are less than 40 and planning the way you are, and you and your family, you are, so it would be a just great thing. It would be an honor just to know them, because so much people wants to, what y'all call those cars? I'm sweating a lot outside. What y'all call them, the Hellcat or whatever, or the Dodge Chargers and the Mustangs, or Scat Pack and all that shit. But I think I'm saying that's what the young people are thinking about. That's all they're thinking about. That's what they want, because they think that's life. When you got a Dodge Charger, a Mustang, that's and you 22 years old, and your insurance costs more than the doggone car payment because you ain't thinking right. You're not thinking right. So your insurance, because you're in 22, you're not even 25 yet. You're 19-year-old, and somebody signed for you to get the car, and then you got to go get insurance, and your insurance payment is more than the doggone car payment. And so it's killing you. Yeah, it looks good, it sounds good, it's beautiful, but then the only thing that you can eat is oodles and noodles, right? That's all I can afford is oodles and noodles, and then they spicy it up, put some stuff in it to make it good. Great meal. They don't. That's what they do these days. But the car look good, and they're picking up the right people and look good on the beach and driving down with the windows down and windows the tinted and down and they got the right sound system in them with the video system in it. It looks good, but it's killing you financially. And bro, after you paid all your bill, you got 15 cents left. What can you do with that? Go somewhere and sit down. And now you got to call home and talk to mom and dad. I need to borrow $25 to get to work till next payday. That's not what you want. That's not what you want. Huh? I wish I was thinking like CJ way back when I was, and like I am now. I was, but not in a major way. Just let me put it like that. Because I started preparing rather early, way before I retired from the military. I started preparing. I could remember Leo, and Leo, I know you from the Florence Dillon district. Leo, I remember the conversation after the Bishop Williams assigned me to the Magnolia State Line Church. I remember a conversation I was having with my wife one night. We were coming on a Wednesday night. We were coming to Bible study. I remember, and this was over 14 years ago. I remember a conversation I had with her about finances. The drive was long and nothing to do with talking in the conversation. And that conversation drastically changed our financial status and our financial situation. And so, because who wants to keep living? Who wants to, not to say that we were living paycheck to paycheck, we weren't doing that, but we want to live so that our income is less than you're paying out. It's more. I'm sorry, it's more than you're paying out. I'm getting a whole lot in, but I'm not paying out a lot. So you're keeping more and more of that money in your pocket. You're going to have to pay some bills. We discussed that already. Some you cannot get around and will not get around, and it's just life. All right. Yeah, CJ. Yeah. You're right, bro. You're right. And I thank God for Robin Hood, because I started with Edward Jones a long time ago in 1992. I started with Edward Jones in 1992. So that means I was paying somebody to do for me what I'm doing for myself now, free. Moving around stocks, buying more stocks, selling this, suggesting to me that I get that. And I was paying somebody to do that for me from 1992 until Robin Hood. I think I looked at the other apps. I looked at the others, but I didn't really fell in love with any of them but Robinhood. And so I got rid of all of the others and kept Robinhood. I had TD Ameritrade, a stash, and all that stuff. But I said, I think Robinhood is more friendlier with me. And so some people disagree, but hey, everybody, all of us have our different likes. It's just my decision. But yes, people got to realize if you start early, you wouldn't have to run so fast to get to the finish line, because I don't know if you've been in the military, Leo, but but CJ and I, he is and I was. When the military people say, most of them, I'm going to retire, and they're retiring at 20, 21, 22 years old. 22 years in the military. They're just retiring to go to another job. I'm retiring. I got a retirement check for the rest of my life. But most often, they're not in the 8% where they can retire to and sit down on the front porch. I just want to sit on the front porch with a bottle of peach sweet tea. I want a sweet tea and sit on the porch and watch the cars go by and wave. And then I want to have a little garden in the backyard maybe some tomatoes or some cucumbers. Some my wife likes squash, so I'll try that for her. Stuff like that, and just chill, and not having to work myself to death, right? And that's what I pray for all of you to do the same, to be able to do the same situation. All right, we know the strategy for this week. Again, we'll get on throughout the day tomorrow. Hopefully, I only do that if it's something to be said. I don't want to be bothering y'all, and I'm not saying anything. If I get on, it's something to be said. It's something to be said, and so if I get on, that's what I'm doing. But the strategy tomorrow is to prepare for Tuesday's market, which are usually in the red. So we will prepare for Tuesday's market by buying some inexpensive puts on Monday. Some inexpensive puts on Monday. Don't wait till Tuesday to get into it, because if the market's red on Tuesday, puts will be expensive. And then, of course, we know each of us have our own definition of expensive. What is expensive to one person may not be expensive to another. Yeah, am I making sense? All right, and so that's all I have. I pray that all of us have a wonderful market Monday, stock market Monday, and the rest of your night be the best of your night. Um, Let me see. I think Leo said something. Um, all right, Leo, you are most welcome. You are most welcome. You are most welcome. All right, I'm glad you can. I'm glad. And say hello to the wife for me, okay? CJ, hit me up on the line. The rest of you, I don't know if anyone else is there. May the rest of your night be the best of your night. Peace and blessings.